Hello and welcome to the Matrix Fitness live workout. My name is Matt Gleed, and on today's workout we've got 3 rounds of exercises for you. Each round of exercise we're going to do is 2 circuits, which means that you're going to find the exercise is exactly the same as we rotate through the 3, and that way then you can start to think about the exercise that you're doing. I will then take up some of the options of progressions or regressions that I offer you, and I'll do every single repetition with you as well. In today's workout, you're going to need a little bit of space. I've already got my mat down on the floor, because as soon as we finish the warm-up, we're going to be down onto the floor in every single round of exercises as well. So before we start, we're going to get you warmed up. We'll give you a cool down at the end as well, so we get through some stretches. And other than that, let's get you through the warm-up and get you working. So to begin with, just start to open up your arms into a nice wide position, reaching across your body. And what you're looking to do here is just to find a little bit of a stretch through the shoulders and through the chest muscles, opening up through your arms, mobilizing through the joints and preparing the body for the work that we've got coming up. Now let's take you into a little rotation, so pivoting off your feet, moving your arms around about shoulder height. As you pivot, allow your elbows just to directly move behind you, which will give you a little bit of rotation, and making sure that you pivot off your feet just to help give you a little bit of agility work as well. Excellent. Now what we're going to do is take into a little half squat, so lowering your hips down towards your heels. Now you don't have to go deep into this squat to begin with. What we're looking to do is just to create a little bit of mobility, starting to prepare some of these quadricep muscles for some of the exercises. During today's workout, I'm going to take you through some squat, some push, and some hinge movements. So every exercise that we're going to work through is either going to be some sort of variation of a squat, a push, so like a press up, or some sort of a V-sit, so you can start to work for your core muscles as well. To begin with, let's start taking into a lunge, so taking that last step back down towards your knees, bring yourself back up, and then alternate to the opposite side, lower your back knee down towards the floor. Keep your back straight and keep looking straight ahead, and this will help you maintain a good position and make sure that your posture is good. With equal weight in between the feet, it will help you keep a little bit of balance as well. Okay, let's start to get your heart rates up a little bit more. So take an imaginary skipping rope and just start pushing off the floor. Now as you start to do this little bit of skipping work, I just want your heart rates to come up. Now we have got some options where you can take some of our exercises today and turn them into some jumping movements. This will give you a little bit more of a fitness push in your workout, but I obviously will give you alterations or variations that you might like to do just to challenge you. So let's get you moving from side to side. Just pushing off your feet. There are a few exercises where if you would like to take into some higher impact work, where you're going to change direction as you push off the floor. So you want to get a bit of agility into your ankles, but also start to prepare your calves for some of that landing work that we're going to do as well. Now just shuffle your feet forwards and backwards, so you're alternating one foot and then over to the other. And this will just help start to bring your heart rates up a little bit higher. And now what I'd like you to do is take yourself into a jumping jack. So bring your arm back towards the sides, and as your hands start to come around about shoulder height, what's going to happen is you're going to start to get your heart rates up a little bit higher, and it will help prepare you for some of the fitness work that we're going to do as well. If you would like to take your arms a little bit higher, that will challenge your fitness a little bit further. Okay, now just loosen up your body. Let's stand sideways into a fighting stance. I want you to jab, cross, jab. We're going to jump 180 degrees and then alternate to the opposite side. As you start to throw these punches, I would love it if you could start to pivot off your feet. And as you start to pivot off your feet, you can start to put a bit of mobility and also some movement where we can make these punches a little bit more dynamic as well. Each time bring your hands back towards your face so that you can hold that fighting stance. Excellent. Now let's take you into some knee strikes. So bring your knee up 3 times on each side, pivot the feet, and then over to the opposite side as well. This dynamic movement will give you the mobility in your hips, but it will also prepare you for the hip movements that we're going to work through, especially on some of our core exercises as well. Let's do the last 3 over onto this side, and I'm going to take you through the first exercise. Today's first exercise is going to be a squat jump. So lower yourself down into a squat. You're going to push off the floor and then reset. Let's get you working for 45 seconds. One of the first variations we're going to offer you is instead of taking yourself into a jump, you just extend up into your calves as well. So for a squat, extend up onto your tiptoes, and then back down to that squat. So if you feel like it's a bit early for you to go into some jumping movements, just take that deep squat and extend up through the hips and your knees at the same time. And then as we go through these exercises a second time, on our second circuit, you can start to challenge your fitness a little bit more. Good, we've got coming down to just over 5 seconds to go. And then the next exercise we're going to do is down onto the floor into doing a press up as well. So let's go down there and start to prepare ourselves. The first movement that we're going to have a look at is doing a press up on your knees. So this one, we're going to focus on the mobility of the shoulder joint. And then as we go through it as a second circuit, we can put in a little bit more power and go on the toes as well. So hands underneath your shoulders, lower your chin and chest down towards the floor, push back off the floor, and maintain that alignment in your body at all times. So keep that deep range working. Lower yourself down, push yourself off the floor. Think about your hips, chest and chin lowering down, and be strong as you move off the floor in a straight plank-like position. Good. Keep this strong movement going. You've got 10 seconds of work to go. We're going to lie down on your back, ready for a V-sit as we go into our first abdominal exercise as well. Okay, let's turn you over onto your backs. So a V-sit with arms long and extended, and also your legs extended. Reach up, exhaling, and then inhale as you lower yourself back down. Reach up towards your toes, then lower yourself back down into position each time. Now, one of the easier options we can offer you is to bring your knees and your elbows together and then extend your body back down again. So you've got the choice, if you wanted to shorter the range of movement, or also reduce the length of your body, that makes the exercise a little bit easier. So if we can extend your arms and legs out long, that longer lever length is going to challenge your core work a little bit further as well. Remember to exhale as you reach up, inhale as you lower yourself back down. Keep that long, tall range of movement going at all times. The last 5 seconds to go, and we're going to start repeating all 3 of those exercises again. I'll give you some options to challenge yourself a little bit more. So let's bring that way for the squat jumps. Now remember, on these ones, you can squat and extend up onto your tiptoes, or you can take yourself into that jump now that your body may feel a little bit more prepared as well. Starting in 3, 2, let's squat and jump up and reset yourself. Now the speed at which you move into that squat, back up, and then reset yourself means that you're going to start to challenge your heart rate a little bit more. You're about to bring your hand out in front of you just so you can counterbalance your body weight and maintain that good posture. So if you can see yourself as a reflection in a window, a mirror, just making sure that your posture is good, where your back is straight, that will just help keep your focus. You've got just over 15 seconds to go. Keep the speed going. Remember, you've got the option of reducing the impact and just take it into a squat if you like to. Also, if you can speed up, you've got the last 4, 3, 2, and let's set you back up for these press-ups. So the press-ups at first were on your knees. Now we're going to see if we can challenge you to go onto your toes. Maintain that deep range of movement and full range off the floor as if you were holding that plank as well. Let's get you set up and ready to move. So lower your chin, chest, and your hips all the way down to the floor. Be strong, like you're holding the body like a plank of wood as you push off the floor. There's no hip movement. It's all one line of the body going up and down off the floor. Keep strong as you push through those hands, making sure the body stays long and strong. You've got just over 5 seconds left to go. Keep going. Remember, you can always go to your knees if you need to. Okay, now let's turn you over onto your backs again. So now we go for your V-sits again. Exactly the same exercise. Keep the body long if you can. Exhale as you reach up. Inhale as you come down and reset the spine. In 3, 2, let's go. Reach up towards your toes. Slowly lower yourself back down under control, and then reset your body position as well. Reach up as you exhale. Inhale as you lower yourself back down. Then reset. Try and keep that big range of movement going. Good work. Keeping the arms and legs long, maintain your position. Inhale as you lower yourself back down. Exhale as you reach up. Try and think about getting your shoulder blades off the floor and reaching up towards the ceiling as you slowly lower yourself back down under control. Okay, and relax there. Bring yourself back up to a standing position. So our second round of exercises start with an exercise called a split squat. So for this one, you're going to put one leg forward, one leg behind, and your back knee moves up and down, keeping the feet where they are. So bring yourself back up. So this is like doing a static lunge. So the feet don't move, but the knees and the hip joint does. And your goal here is to keep the back straight and think about scissoring those legs together so you're trying to get as much muscle work to happen as possible. Now it's great to have the mobility, but you want you to really think about trying to make the muscles do the work for you as well. So keep that control, keep that big range of movement. With just over 15 seconds to go, really think about squeezing your quads, hamstrings and glutes together at the top of that movement, and then lower yourself back down again as well. You're trying to make the exercise work your muscles hard, rather than just move up and down for time. Okay, now, just remember which leg was forwards and which one was backwards, because we're going to repeat that same exercise on the opposite side coming up. The next exercise we're going to have a look at is called a bear crawl. So for this one, we're going to crawl forwards, keeping your back as straight as possible. So hands underneath your shoulders, knees come slightly off the floor, opposite hand and leg move at the same time. Once you get to that range, then push through the floor as you transfer your weight backwards. Again, try and keep your knees close towards the floor and your back straight all the time. If you can keep your eyes looking down towards your hands, that will just help keep you in a really good position and keep your spine neutral as well. And that's really important so we don't put any pressure in the spine or in the neck area as well. So opposite hand, opposite leg, you'll soon get used to moving them and keep that coordination going. Last couple of seconds here, and relax. Okay, let's lie down on the sides. And what we're going to do this time is it's going to be a side V-sit. So one arm extended, palm facing down so you can push against the floor. Now this is where you might want a mat, a jumper, or a cushion, just to make it a little more comfortable. What I want you to do is extend the arm above you, and then reach upwards, and then lower yourself back down. So it's a V-sit, or like a crunch coming together. Now, the longer your arm and the legs extend, the better it's going to be. So try and keep the body long and tall, and hold that position at all times. Now again, we're going to do the opposite side as we go through this circuit a second time. So just make sure that you're aware as to which side you're lying on, like you were on which leg was forwards earlier as well. And I'll face the opposite direction to lead you through this as well. Last 5 seconds to go. Keep your arms and legs long to use that lever length to challenge you. And let's reset yourself up for our split squat again. So opposite foot is forward this time. I'm facing the opposite direction, that leads you into which direction to work. And it's my foot, which is nearest you, which is furthest back. Back stays straight, movement is up and down again. So bring yourself up and then back down. And your goal is moving in a straight line, up and down. That front knee is over the ankle. And keep your back as straight as possible as well. Think about squeezing your legs together. It's almost like thinking if your feet were on 2 bits of maybe paper plates, they would be squeezing closer together as well. So you're trying to get the muscles to move and to find them as if they can fire up and work as much as possible. Trying to keep that control as you lower yourself back down. And will also help give you a little bit of stability if you don't lose your balance as well. Keep that movement straight up, straight down. It's a great exercise for working in those muscles. And let's get you ready for your bear crawl again. So, second time we're doing this bear crawl, keep your technique as close as you did the first time. Back straight, eyes looking down, opposite arm and opposite leg move. Starting in 3, 2, off we go. So opposite hand and opposite leg start to travel. And then when it comes into the reverse bear pause, push your hand into the floor, Keep your knees low, back stays fairly straight, and then alternate that direction again. Keep working in a steady way. Try to keep your body under tension if you can. And push yourself through the floor as you start to travel backwards. Good, keep going. Got just over 10 seconds of work to go with this exercise. Then we've got the opposite side on the V-sit, and that completes round 2 as well. Okay, let's get ready for the V-sit. So lying flat down onto the floor, onto one side, extending the arms and the legs. So the hand nearest the floor is going to be the one that pushes against the floor, and that will just give you a little bit of support. Extend your arm up overhead, and lift up, lower yourself back down. So think about that movement, keeping your arms long and your legs long as well. You can always shorten the lever length if you need to, but you're trying to bring your elbow closer towards your hip as you extend up, and then slowly lower yourself back down. Keep that long range of movement. Good. Keep that distance in between the arm. Even though we want to get the elbow close towards your hip, it doesn't mean that we're going to get there by bending at the elbow as well. So just try to side bend all the time. We'll get a good stretch of these muscles as well. And relax there. Okay. Let's bring yourself up to a standing position. Third round of exercises. This starts off with a 90-degree squat pop. What we're doing here is down into a squat, and you jump up to 90 degrees of rotation, back to the center, and over to the opposite side. So let's get you working here. And again, the option is, if you don't want to add in this little jump at the top, what you can do is you can just take it into a basic squat. So you're just pushing off the floor, pop yourself into that 90-degree rotation, reset back to the center, and then over to the opposite side. Each time you come up out of that position, fully extend your hips. That way then you're working hard in every position you go into. You've got 15 seconds to go. Keep that deep squat in between each range of movement as well. Last 10 seconds of work. Good. Keep pushing yourself here. You've got 5 seconds to go. Coming up next, we've got another press-up variation. So let's take it down towards the floor. So these have got the option of you doing it on your knees or on your feet. But each time you do the press-up, you're then going to open up into the shape of the T. Let me do a quick demonstration off my knees for you. Come up, and then back to the center to the opposite side. Let's go. So these again can be done on your knees, but you'll notice that I come up onto my toes to challenge the stability of my shoulder into that T position. Keep that big range of movement going. Full depth, so just like we did at the beginning of today's workout, in the first round, getting the mobility of the chin, chest and hips all the way down to the floor, so that when you push up, you're maintaining your body alignments as well. You can always do that press up on the toes and not use the knees if you want to. And you might find that you have to readjust your foot position as well. That's completely normal, so keep working on that as well. Okay, now the third exercise we're going to do is a Russian twist. So we're going to do this one is sit into a V-shaped position, and you're going to rotate around from side to side. Now the goal here is to keep your back straight and to lower yourself back as far as you feel comfortable. So when you're rotating, you should be working on your side muscles or your obliques. And I want you to try and find something called the Tremor of Truth. Now the Tremor of Truth is when you lean back, you feel a little bit of shaking through your core muscles as you start to maintain that position. So see if you can start to feel that your muscles are working hard because of the angle you're holding. And we'll get a good stretch of these hips later, because I know they're going to be working as well. But just trying to maintain that position and move around from side to side. Good. We've got the last 5 seconds of work to go. And then we'll take you through those 3 exercises again, starting with the pop-up squats with the rotation. So let's bring you back up to a standing position. So you get a little bit of recovery. Remember, it's 45 seconds on, 15 seconds recovery. These are your last 3 exercises now. So if you want to push your fitness a little bit more, try and work hard on this next exercise, and that will give you a higher heart rate. So squat, pop to 90 degrees, back to the center, over to the opposite side. Let's get you moving again. Push from one side back to the other. As you push from one side to the other, think about extending up through your hips and then reset. Now, the quicker you move, the higher your heart rate's going to go, and you're going to challenge your fitness a little bit more. But also remember, you can just do a basic squat for me, just lowering your hips down and back up, like we did in the warm-up, and also like we did in the first round of exercises as well. Just 10 seconds to go. Could you speed up a little bit more to try and get your heart rates up a little bit higher? And relax there. Okay, let's get ready for those T press-ups. And again, you've got the option of your knees or your toes to do the press-up in. Try and get as much range of movement as you can. Starting in 5, 3, 2, let's go. Full press-up if possible. Then up into a T position, reset, and then lower all the way down to the floor again. Be strong as you push off the floor, so the whole body moves in one unit. What we don't want to see is your hips moving or your shoulders moving at different times. Big rotation, working on the stability of the shoulder. And then over to your opposite side. 15 seconds of work to go. Big range of movement, again, work on that stability. Then full range as you lower to the floor. Push off the floor with strength. Bring yourself back up to that T. 3 seconds to go. And relax there. Turn your arms to your backs. Ready for the last exercise, which is the Russian twist again. So 45 seconds away. We'll take you for a couple of cool down stretches. Arms out in front of you, linked together. Lower yourself back. Nice straight spine. And let's rotate around from one side over to the opposite side. Maintaining control. And just starting to feel, hopefully, that little tremor of truth again. Just where the muscles are working because you're trying to put them under tension. So lean back as far as you feel comfortable to go. Good, big range if you can. Keep the control. Try not to rush any core exercises. If the core's ever going to get into a better condition, it's going to be done slowly with time to work the muscles well. No point in rushing and using momentum, especially in an exercise like this. Take your time and do it right. You have just over 5 seconds to go. Could you lean back a little bit further to try and challenge you? And relax there. Excellent work. So we'll stay where we are to begin our stretching routine. Bring the soles of your feet together for me. And I want you to just press your hands around your feet and just start to rock your feet from side to side. Now the goal here is just to start to get a little bit of a deep stretch into your groin area. And if you'd like to, I invite you to just put a little bit of weight through your elbows onto the inside of your knees, just to push your legs out a little bit wider. Now from here, what we're going to do is going to take you into a quadricep stretch and a hip flexor stretch. So I'm going to get you to lie down on your side, take hold of one of your feet, bring your heel all the way up into your glute. Now your muscles here at the back of your bum, if you bring your heel right in towards them and think about pushing the front of your hip forward, you'll not only get a good stretch through the quadriceps, but also through your hip flexor. And after doing some of the stomach work that we've done, what we want to do is make sure that those hip flexors get a really good stretch so they don't get tight at all. Okay, I'll swap you over to the opposite side. That'll be the same position. Bring the opposite leg in towards your glute. Push the front of your hip forward so you get a stretch through the quadricep, through the hip. Hold that stretch strong. Excellent, good. Now, just from that position, what we're going to do is we're going to rock your hips back towards your heels. So we're almost going to go down into a bit of a yoga position here. It's called child's pose. Draw your hips down towards your heels and walk your fingertips forwards, and hopefully you're going to start to feel a stretch in the sides of your back. So just spend a moment here. You can even, if you can, walk your fingertips forwards a little bit more, just to develop that stretch a little further. Okay, now from here, slowly roll up through your spine. Bring yourself up to a standing position, just to loosen up your arms and your legs a little bit. Let's start to take your arms out across your body a little bit further, just developing that stretch across your shoulders a little bit more. And bring your hands around behind you, linking your hands together by your lower back. Now, if you squeeze your shoulder blades together and just bring your hands away from your lower back, you can feel a stretch throughout your chest muscles here. And after doing all those press movements, it's really important that you get a good stretch there. And now what we're going to do is we're going to bring your arms around you like you're hugging a big beach ball. And imagine that beach ball is being inflated and your elbows start to move a little bit wider. So you could develop this really big stretch all the way around your back muscles as well. Now the last stretch we're going to do is we're going to reach one arm up over the side, and you're going to start to feel a stretch down the side of your body. So just really develop that stretch, reach through that hand across the rest of the body, bring it over to the opposite side, and then bring yourself back to the centre and just loosen your body out. Thank you very much for joining me for these Matrix Fitness workouts. My name's Matt. We'll be back again on Thursday at 7:45 in the morning, 12 o'clock lunchtime, and again at 5 o'clock on Thursday evening as well. So until then, take care everybody, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.